right. Welcome everybody to not just another Tiki Trail Live. This one is Tiki Trail Live Triple X edition. Um, no, we're not getting naked or anything like that. I just noticed that it's episode 30, and if you write
No,
30 in Roman numerals, it's XXX. So I thought it's kind of cool. It's a triple X version of the show. Yeah. So Tiki Triangle, put your clothes back on, please. It's not
No,
that
this was
not that kind of
cool.
triple X. I like that.
It's
like that.
It's Hawaii. That's where the honeymooners were. I did a shot a wedding, and they're going to
look at
Hawaii,
that.
so they gave out these face masks at
Nice.
the wedding.
So they gave out face masks to say, "Hey, we're going to Hawaii. You stay here in the cold and suffer."
Exactly.
You poor bastards, you. Yeah. So, any rate, welcome to yet another Tuesday. Jeff Ballard here with the Tiki Trail, and glad to have you here. Glad you guys come back each and every week. I still haven't figured out why. I think I know why. It's because of all the cool guests that we have. And tonight, no different. Just like I say every week, Sam's put together another fantastic show. We have tonight for the pour along, our guest mixologist is Curly Bartender, not the Curly Bartender, which is on the East Coast. This is Curly Bartender, which is on the West Coast. She's going to be mixing up. She's going to be mixing up a Bahama Mama for us tonight. So hopefully you've got that recipe and have those ingredients. After that, we'll have our house DJs back again. The DJs we love to hear, DJ Lilibird and Lone Calls are in the house tonight. So happy to have them back. And as a special featured guest, I've been trying to get this guy, what did I say, episode 30? I've been trying for probably about 30 weeks, I'm just going to say, to get him onto the show. So glad we have V-Rex joining us tonight. Brian Reckenmacher, some amazing art, bartender. I didn't know what form he was going to come on to the show tonight, but he's going to be talking about his art tonight. So looking forward to that. And then in the Makani Marketplace, Dungeons and DIY, 3D printing. I saw some of his stuff, looks pretty darn cool. AM Studios, we also have. And Rich, I really don't want to mess up your last name. Belhumeur?
that's pretty close to it's Belhumeur the way we say it.
Belhumeur.
But I've been hearing it pronounced. I've been hearing it pronounced that way my whole life too, so that's fine.
Well, I should have figured. I mean, up here, I'm visiting in the Northeast where they have a town in Massachusetts called Worcester. It does not look like that whatsoever. And if you pronounce it Worcester or Worcester, you're going to get laughed at and kicked out of the state. So sorry about that. Rich, there we go. I should have asked you when we were talking earlier.
No, it's all good. It doesn't really matter. Nobody says it right.
All right. Well,
we're from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, so it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, you can't even get me to say that. So yeah, that would hurt my mouth. I need to have a couple of drinks before I say that. So hey, speaking of drinks, let's go ahead and bring out our mixologist. I see you there. Tanaz, how are you?
That's good. How are you guys? How is everybody doing?
Did I pronounce your name right, Tanaz?
You did, yes.
Okay.
Which I'm impressed because I get the craziest things. So you did really good.
Good. Well, I'm glad that I didn't mess that one up. I'm 1 for 1 now tonight. Cool. So how are you tonight?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be making the Bahama Mama for everybody and, teaching a classic Tiki cocktail. I love Tiki cocktails, so this is really fun for me.
Well, we're definitely ready, willing, and able to start mixing that up. Now, also, before we start with that, I do want to let everybody know we didn't get to the promo cards last week, although I have a surprise for you on that. But we do have the promo cards this week. And I believe, Sam, you've got all the numbers, so hopefully you're putting those into the chat session. If you don't, let me know. But we have one for, what's that?
I got them. They're ready to go.
You rock. Sam is just an amazing person. So glad to have her on the show. Tanaz. So yeah, let's mix it up.
Perfect. So I'll start off with like a little small introduction. My name is Tanaz, founder of Curly Bartender. I've been in the bar and restaurant industry for about 10 years now. Love it. It's my passion. It's the best industry to be in my opinion. I mean, I am biased, but it's definitely my favorite. I've done other stuff. I've worked in hospitals, things like that. And I've just always drawn back into the hospitality industry. So Curly Bartender, it's been about a year and a half since we have started. We do mobile bar events, weddings, corporate, birthdays, any celebration you have, we'll be there. So I'm not gonna bore you with all that info. If you wanna get more information, our Instagram is @curly_bartender. If you take any pictures or anything, I would appreciate it as well if you guys can tag us and Tiki Trail and all the other guests that are here as well. And our website is curlybartender.com without the underscore. Okay, so we're gonna start off making the Bahama Mama. I always like to make a cocktail using the smaller tin for whoever's following along. Just because it's harder or it's easier to knock over the taller one as opposed to the smaller. And this is the perfect size tin to make your cocktail. So start with your smaller tin. You always want a jigger. It's going to be your measuring tool, so you definitely want that. I like to start off with the, less expensive ingredients first, because let's say you make a mistake, you don't have to, and you have to dump it out. Obviously, you don't want to put your rum or tequila first and then have to dump that out. So I always like to start off with the less expensive, and I like to do my syrups first, so that when we do the juices, it kind of cleans out the jigger and pours all of that yummy goodness back in there. So first we're gonna start off with the grenadine. I'm not sure if any of you guys made it or if you just bought it, but I love to make my own grenadine because it just tastes 1,000% better. It's just equal parts pomegranate juice and sugar, and you just bring it to a simmer, then let it chill, and it's good in your refrigerator for, I would say, about a week. If you put alcohol in it, a little bit of like vodka, it's gonna last you a little bit longer. Okay, so we're gonna start off with the grenadine. We're gonna put 0.25 ounces, which is a 1/4 ounce of grenadine. If you're using a jigger, it's gonna be on the smaller side. It should have little lines in there, and it'll tell you. Next, we're gonna go to the coconut syrup. Again, this is something I like to make myself, but you can definitely, this one you can buy in stores as well, of course, but I like to make it myself. We're gonna do another same amount, 1/4 ounce of the coconut syrup.
So Tanaz, let me ask a question. So how is it that you got into Tiki? Is it because of the crafting the cocktails, or what kind of got you into this?
What got me into this is, just working behind the bar and other bartenders introducing me to Tiki. We do all over, like, everything, but when clients ask me, like, is there a theme that you like? And I was like, do Tiki. Like, one, your drinks are all going to be amazing. It's a fun theme. You can decorate the bar. You can decorate your house super nice, like, with the whole Tiki theme. So I just like the culture, I guess, of it. And of course, the drinks are amazing. But yeah, I would definitely say other bartenders for sure introduced me to it, and just, being in the industry, I guess.
That makes sense. Yeah, we hear quite often that the bartenders at the craft cocktail places really like making the Tiki drinks because you get a chance to kind of show off and do a little bit of flair.
Yeah, exactly. And you can, like, I feel like with Tiki, you can make more of your ingredients yourself because they have so many complex ingredients. And I like doing that. So I think that's probably another reason I like it too.
All right, so what do we got next?
Perfect. So we're doing the coconut syrup. So with 0.25 ounces of the coconut syrup, we're gonna pour that all in there. And then, the reason I like doing that first is you're gonna get, a little bit still in there. So if you use your juices to kind of rinse it out, it's a win-win. Next,
So
we're gonna do.
it's probably bad form to lick the coconut out of the shot glass, isn't it?
I mean, hey, if you're making it for yourself, go for it. But I definitely wouldn't recommend it if you're making it for somebody else, especially right now. Yeah, so we're doing the 1/4 ounce again of the orange juice. If you have freshly squeezed, that's always best. If not a big deal. We're doing 1 ounce. This is going to be more than the other. So 1 full ounce of your pineapple juice. My jigger this side is 1 ounce, so I'm going to go all the way to the top. We're going to do 1 ounce. Next is going to be, or 1 ounce, I should say. Next, we're going to do the lime juice. Whenever you have the chance or opportunity, I should say, always use fresh lime juice because obviously that's going to taste a lot better. Yeah, I'm just going to cut up some limes. You could get about, I would say it depends how juicy your lime is. You can get about 1 ounce of lime juice per lime. These don't seem that juicy, so I might need to use a whole lime for the 1/2 ounce that we need.
So now, where are you based? You're in Southern California?
Yes. So we're in Southern California, specifically Huntington Beach right now, but we do events. Most of our events, I would say, is LA. We do San Diego, Orange County, of course, Riverside County, Palm Springs, Vegas. It just depends, wherever the party is. If you want us there, we'll be there.
Nice. Yeah, and that was crazy when I was looking you up for all the details on the card or whatnot, that there is the Curly Bartender on the East Coast who's serving the New York, New Jersey area.
Yeah, I never knew that. Even when we became
social media.
We became an LLC, you have to do the research and look it up to see if any names are taken. It wasn't taken, so I'm gonna have to look into that a little bit more. So thank you.
I want to turn off the
Yeah,
video.
go find out who.
Who these people are. Yeah.
Send them a cease and desist letter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So 1/2 ounce of your lime juice, freshly squeezed, would be best. Yeah, so we did our OJ, we did our lime juice, we did our pineapple juice, coconut syrup, grenadine, and now is the best time. It's gonna be rum time.
Wait, did we put the pineapple in there? I was not paying attention. How much pineapple?
1 ounce.
1 ounce.
1 ounce.
See, I told you I'm terrible behind the bar.
You're good. We're talking. You almost made me second guess myself too. I'm like, did I put the pineapple juice? But
See?
I'm 99% sure.
That's how bad I am. I disrupt the professionals. I've gotten kicked out of more bars for that. I think B-Rex kicked me out of Forbidden Island for that one time.
No, you helped us clean. You closed the bar down and helped us clean.
Oh, well, if you help, you can do whatever you want. Because, after a long day, that's hard to okay, so we're going to be using Denizen rum. We're using an aged rum. This is probably my favorite rum to use in cocktails. I just like the flavor. It has a strong flavor, not too overpowering though. It's aged 8 years. A Jamaican rum. I really like it. Some of my favorite rums are Jamaican rum. So we're going to do 1.5 ounces. My jigger is 1.5 ounces. So we're going to go all the way to the top. Maybe a little bit more. And then that's it. So that's our cocktail. So now we're going to do ice. Ice is very important. I'm sure you guys all know. It's like I like to say ice is like the fire to cocktails. Like for a chef, it's their fire. So this is like us cooking our cocktail, creating it.
Gotcha.
I have a question about ice. Now, are those ice cubes like from a machine, or what do you crush them or?
So you know what? I bought a bag of just regular, and then I have some kind of crushed. I kind of crushed it a little bit ago for it when we strain it into the glass that we're using, and it's going to be a little bit crushed up for this particular cocktail. But right now when I shake it up, and just, regular ice is fine.
It'll bang it up and it'll be good. Yeah.
I'm sorry?
It'll bang it up a bit and it'll be.
Exactly. So for this particular cocktail, there's short, medium, long shakes. For this particular cocktail, since it's gonna go over ice again, we do about a short shake. I would say 10 to 15 seconds, and then shake it up. Always remember to smile. You never want to shake. You never want to shake this way because, trust me, I don't care how good you are, you're going to eventually one of these days hit your guests because these tins go flying, especially when you're going fast. All right. So then we have this. We're going to get our glass. We always want to use fresh ice. Fill up your cup all the way up with ice. The reason is the ice that's in here has been broken up. When we're shaking it, it's going to be diluted. So when you pour it in here, it's going to dilute your drink a lot faster. So you don't want that. Then we're going to strain it. Always strain it out. All right.
For those of you that were here last week and got to witness me drinking out of the shaker, I actually have a cup this time, so I don't have to do that. I'm traveling right now, and so it was a challenge to get everything, and I got everything. I was all excited. I'm all set. And then went to go to pour the drink. It's like, oh, I'm drinking out of the shaker tonight.
Well, at least you got your drink ready.
Yeah, exactly. That was the most important thing.
Yes. So we're gonna garnish, make it look nice and pretty. We're gonna do a pineapple. Garnishes are always like kind of like a hint of what's in your cocktail. So I wouldn't go crazy and put like a banana or something because it's gonna be misleading. So we're doing a pineapple, and because there's pineapple juice in there. We're also gonna do a cherry because of the grenadine, even though the grenadine, we made it with pomegranate juice, but it's okay. Yeah, so there we go. We have our Bahama Mama.
Very nice. Cheers.
You're making it with us, and if you have your own cocktail, cheers to you too.
So I have a question for you. The people in the service industry, they always have stories. Now you're doing parties at people's houses.
Yes.
So there's got to be some really good stories. What's the best story you can think of?
Oh my gosh, how can I go a little X-rated?
Yeah.
I'm not into detail, but
this is the XXX edition, so yes.
Okay. I walked in on people having sex in a room that was like for other people to go into, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go that way. So that was pretty intense. They had we've done a lot of celebrity parties, which I sign non-disclosure, so I can't say, or whatever they're called. I can't really talk about it too much.
Well, you can't tell us who, but you can tell us what happened.
That's true. I can say they're let's just say the young Hollywood. They're definitely an interesting crowd. They're definitely interesting. Young 21, 22-year-old Hollywood, they like to party, but in their own way. That's pretty much. And there's times where I have to cut people off. And that's I want to say that's probably the hardest part, especially when it's somebody's own home, to tell somebody,
Yeah.
I can't give you any more of your alcohol, is when their family is telling me no more. And it all falls on the bartender. So we have a right to stop pouring if we see that, you're overly intoxicated, you're going to harm yourself.
But I have beer hidden in the back of the toilet. Yeah.
I guess nothing too crazy, but they're all pretty wild in their own way.
Well, you ought to take note of all of those stories and write a book at some point when you're done.
Yes, maybe after 30 years or something, I'll get some fun. My book will probably be this big.
Nice. Well, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Definitely appreciate the cocktail and coming and being here. So we have your the ingredients, the recipes in the chat. The Shaka code for your card is in the chat. Instagram is in the chat. We got you all dialed in.
Thank you.
And looking forward to hopefully you guys are staying safe through all this COVID crazy stuff, because I've seen some of those young Hollywood parties on the news lately.
Yeah, you know what? They're actually the ones we've done. They actually have their own personal nurse in front of the door, and they do rapid COVID tests, which with your blood. So they'll test everybody as soon as you walk, like the workers, everybody, the guests. They'll test everybody that walks in. They're the ones I've been to, at least. They're actually doing a pretty good job in that sense.
Well, that's good. Good to hear that then. All right. So thanks for joining us, Tanaz. Great cocktail. Definitely appreciate that. And let's now, as we sip on our cocktail, I said sip. Nobody should be downing them. No shots here. There we go. Lone Calls. Oh my gosh, that is an awesome fireplace, guys. I just have to say,
that's really something else. I was looking at that too.
Yeah, that's incredible.
This guy?
Yeah, it's even got I almost said snot coming out of his nose. Smoke coming out of his nose.
French. Aloha. How you doing?
Good, man. How are you guys?
Doing all right. We're at our friend Biff's house, and he just happens to have this really cool fireplace.
I think I saw a picture of that, and I tried to show my wife to say, this is what we need the fireplace to look like in the living room. I think she's still laughing now.
Yeah, I am single, if that's the question.
Yeah. Yeah, I could understand that. And this would be a good reason to be single. Just saying. I'll trade you my wife with the fireplace.
I'd put that right on the front of my house, man.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Perfect.
That is nice. All right.
Oh yeah. Well, let's introduce. This is Biff. We're trying to keep. We weren't trying to get him on camera or anything.
Okay. How you doing? My name's Biff. Yeah, this is a fireplace that my friends and I did probably over 10 years ago. It was probably like almost 15 years ago. And yeah, it's made out of furnace cement. The eyes are made out of surfboard resin. It's got a black and red glass that the fire comes up through. It's all remote. Smoke machine. There's an LED light show behind here. This actually opens up so you can get to the LEDs behind it.
Wow.
And closes up. And yeah, I was featured in Tiki magazine, one issue. Hold on, I'll grab it real quick. The issue with Thor on the front. This issue right here, if anybody has Tiki magazine, my house was featured as the Tiki house on this issue of Tiki magazine, which is no longer in circulation, I guess. But yeah, it's we actually unveiled it at a Halloween party. We had a Halloween party, and we actually made miniature versions of it and gave it out a little miniature souvenir for everyone with candy and everything. And yeah, it was just this big labor of love, and it's about, I don't know, probably like 40, 50 gallons of furnace cement is what the outside structure is made out of. And then basically we had to create a almost like a pizza oven. We brought the brick out so that we can create a big mouth coming out of the house. So, but yeah, I'm glad to have you guys come and see it, and I'll nice. turn it over to these guys.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, we got a couple tunes for you. This first song I want to play is from Soho PE. He's one of the innovators of Hawaiian steel guitar.
Tell Biff that was really good. Nobody saw him at all. Go past it.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's back. Yeah, so that's the first song I'm going to play, and it's also the first song I'm going to play on my radio show this week. So if you want to check that out, but here's
right. I'm gonna mute everybody so we get the tunes.
Turn it up.
So
That's-
his name again?
Soul Hoope.
All right. That man, I don't know where you guys find this stuff. That is amazing. You don't find this stuff on iTunes, do you?
You might be able to find this one on iTunes. He's probably the most
Really?
popular steel player ever. So
All right.
So I'm gonna stay with the lap steel theme here, and I'm gonna play something from Pete Drake. He is more well known for playing pedal steel on country music, but I was reading about him, and I guess he was very inspired by Jerry Bird, and he went to go see him play, and then that made him want to play lap steel, and then go on to play pedal steel. This song that I'm going to play, The Spook, is very different from any of his other songs, which is why I really loved it. I read somewhere where someone was saying it sounded like he made a stop in San Francisco and then ended up eating some cookies or something, because it sounds a little more psychedelic than his other stuff. So this is The Spook from Pete Drake.
Happy Mahalo-ween.
Now that had a very surf guitar kind of feel to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, very spooky surf. So one of the probably Pete Drake's most famous song is called Forever, and I suggest everybody go on YouTube and watch it because he has a talk box, from like Peter Frampton's, that 70s talk box. And he was using it in like 64 with the pedal steel to this country song, and it's so dreamy and it's really cool. But the interesting thing is that when George Harrison was doing his first solo album, he was a big fan of Pete Drake, flew him out to England to do his first album. He brought his talk box and everything. And this is on YouTube as well. He's showing the Beatles and Peter Frampton how to use the talk box. So he's responsible for Peter Frampton.
Okay, so I have to ask, how do you guys know this stuff?
Not the internet. No.
I mean, okay, but you can't have Google in your head, and you guys know like in depth, great stories about the artists. That's one of the things I love. It's not just great music. You have some stories behind it.
We really love music, and whenever we find a record that we like, we just like finding out like, how did this get created? Who inspired this person to come up with this sound? And we love sharing it with others as well. So thank you for inviting us.
And every recording has a story. if it's the song, or if it's the artist that's recording it, or the engineer, or where it was recorded, every story has, or every song has a story. So, and love to share it, where it comes from. So,
well, it's awesome that you guys are able to do that. 'Cause I know when you're playing at the Bamboo Club in Long Beach, you can't really stop and talk about the artist that you just played. You kind of have to keep playing music. So hopefully this is a great venue for you guys to get some of that out, because I think you got some great stories. Love them.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Abso-flippin'-lutely. So we've got your guys. Each of you have promo cards. As I said in the chat, you guys are badass. So you each deserve to have promo cards to help promote the stuff that you're doing. And so take a look at that, download the cards. And you guys have shows that you do on a regular basis. So and unfortunately, I hate to say this for everybody that's not in Southern California, you guys are Southern California, and I believe the radio shows and everything else is local based, not internet based, correct?
Well, excuse me. Yeah, we're on KLBP in Long Beach. And they do have a tower that only, you can only get it when you're in Long Beach, but they also broadcast online.
Yeah, well, I forgot that I can't do it.
I have a feeling, Sam, was that the radio show that, was that the radio station that I was on?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know if that's the one that you were doing the DJing at. That I'm pretty sure that I was asked to never come back again. But gate switch. That was a very fun night.
I've been listening to Lone Calls
right now,
Friday morning.
Don't get out of the way.
Yeah, we have I have my show is called Lone Calls, conveniently, same as my name, but it's on Fridays. Fridays at 10 o'clock. But you can go to klbp.org and you can live listen there. And I also have a Mixcloud where I archive all my shows, and Lily has the show, and I play all Hawaiian and Polynesian music throughout the years, from early chanting to 50s Chalang-a-lang to what you just heard, and even like disco funk and a little bit of like 80s hip hop, and if it's Polynesian or from the Pacific, I'll play it. But Lily has
you didn't just say disco, did you?
Yeah.
I sure did. You want me to play some? I got some.
No, that's all right. No, that's all right. That's all right.
We were playing a lot at the Bamboo, but since COVID started up, we played a couple times, but I guess the neighbors just didn't want music past a certain time. And it's in a residential area, so I understand. So for the time being, they're not having any performers outside. So we're not doing that, but we are going to be at the Hardcore Tiki Marketplace the next time that it rolls around, which is the 7th, November
November
7th.
7th. Yeah.
And we're going to be bringing some records to sell. So if anyone's in the area and is interested in picking up some Hawaiian records, we're going to have a whole bunch of them for you to
Awesome.
pick up. Yeah. And I have a radio show as well, but it's more international. And so there's music from all over the world, all decades, all genres. So if you're interested in, hearing some covers in other languages or some original music, like if you're interested in what was going on in the 60s in China or what was going on in the 60s in Thailand, then that would be where you would go. And it's also on KLBP on Fridays.
All right. Also on the website, I'm presuming as well.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right. Beautiful. Well, let's make sure we get those into the chat so that we can get everybody have a chance to hear more of your music, not just the times you're able to come on here, but in between times. So that's good.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, mahalo.
Oh, thank you. We definitely appreciate having you guys come on to the show. All right. I can't believe I'm about to say this. B-Rex is in the house. He is here. So you've got to unmute yourself there, Brian. And I am going to pop you onto the pin. There we go.
Here.
There you are. Oh, look at that. We're like twins with our AirPods in.
Yeah. Is it AirPod Pros? Excuse me.
Okay, I wasn't snooty. Mine are AirPod Pros too, just so you know. Just FYI.
Yeah.
So how are you been, man?
I have been pretty good. Pretty good, yeah. Had to stop bartending back in March, but then the art business really kicked up, so that's been keeping me super busy. And now I'm back at work as of like 10 days ago, and we'll see how long I can do this because I just have so much art to do and so much to ship. So it's been good. It's been a weird time, but
a man of many talents.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
you're trolling all of us because you have some of your amazing bar mats right in our face, and you can't get those anymore.
I have. You know what's funny? I just reordered all 3 of them.
Yeah, I mean those
beautiful
are
bar mats.
Absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
So when are they coming in if you just reordered?
So I just ordered them, and it's probably going to take about 6 weeks because you can really only get bar mats made in China if you're doing custom bar mats. So the shipping is really what takes the longest. So it's about like 4 weeks to ship, 2 weeks production. But luckily everything's already all set up. So I'm really hoping like December 8th to have them and just kind of kick into gear holiday season. Because I did a poll and asked people which ones they wanted to see come back, and almost every single one was like off the charts. I'm like, yep, I'm doing more bar mats. I'm repeating the design. Even though I should be moving forward with new designs, I kind of have to like, I feel bad that people missed out, I feel really bad.
No, those were beautiful. I saw those. I was like,
Thank you.
I need those. And they were sold out like, what, in 2.5 seconds or something?
Yeah. It's funny because my buddy Chase, Trader Sampson, was in LA, and he did a custom bar mat for his home tiki bar. And I just saw it and I was like, this is fantastic. Oh my gosh, this is such a good idea. So I stole the idea from him, and it's been a very good thing.
Hey, you just repurposed the idea.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see. 2021 is going to be full of, everyone's going to be making bar mats in 2021. It's going to be hotter than Mai Tai. It's going to be the new Mai Tai glass.
There you go. Yeah, and I see you have, speaking of which, you have some tall cocktail glass. Now, what are those called? Are they Collins glasses? What are they called?
So yeah, let's see. This one is the Collins glass. So it's maybe like 6 inches tall and it holds about 10 ounces, but it's a little bit wider of a mouth. And then as you can see, like compared to the zombie that you're used to, the zombie's a little bit taller, skinnier, and obviously, try to get some contrast. Obviously the Mai Tai glass, really hard to see.
Yeah.
Without proper things in it. But yeah. So yeah, these are Collins. I'm trying to I feel like so many people are doing Mai Tai glasses, and right now, like a lot of zombie glasses, I'm trying to break out with different stuff for people to drink out of, and even thinking about doing like etched Irish coffee glasses and double rocks glasses for just like general cocktail use, not just tiki, you know, try to break it out a little bit more, just more glassware.
So you started out doing two-dimensional art, right? I mean,
yeah,
you started with painting and now you're into a lot of things.
Yeah, it's definitely been good going from just doing like 2D designs with Adobe Illustrator, because that's the program I use. It's all digital. But I started off doing just like scenery within Disneyland, like imagery within Pirates of the Caribbean and Haunted Mansion, and kind of selling those as 5x7 prints. And then that was like back in 2014. And then I maybe like a year and a half later started doing like pins and stickers, and I just wanted to like it's so many people have no wall space, and they'll tell you that right when they look at your booth, and they're like, oh, it's a lot of prints, that's great, I don't have any space. So you kind of have to like branch off into different things, and I absolutely love doing product work. And I have like puzzles and bar towels and turntable slip mats and face masks and just everything. And a new thing I'm working on, I don't know if you can see it.
Holy cow.
It's an etched cocktail shaker.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a whole kit. I just ordered these as well, but these probably aren't going to arrive until January. So it's nice, like Corico style tin on tin with the weighted edges. So you can shake it and snap it open. And little cocktail strainer.
Can't
really
tell you're
see,
a bartender at all.
Yeah, it makes it really easy. And then there's a little etched. Everything's etched. You probably can't see it. There's a jigger, there's a muddler, there's a bar spoon. So these are going to come out sometime early next year when they arrive. Yeah, it'll be a cool little box set. Try to do some other stuff themed around it. Probably a new bar mat to match it. Yeah, might as well make stuff for bartenders and home bartenders. And
yeah, absolutely. And I'm assuming that's that shirt is of your design.
Yes, my new shirt that matches the whole series that I'm doing this year, which is the Enchanted Tikis. So based off of that little attraction that we all know in that magical place in Anaheim. So it's the same
that
pattern
place
that I've
that
been putting.
closed.
Yeah, a place that won't reopen. So I have this shirt and then a green version of it, and those I just ordered, and they're probably gonna arrive in 3 weeks. So get those in, kind of finish off the year with another Aloha shirt.
So take us through the process. You come up with visualize an image or a design, and you put it to print. How do you look to expand it out, or do you start on something else and look to expand from there?
I don't really have much of a vision per se. Like I can't like see if I'm designing a print, I don't really see it in my head. I kind of just like give the background a color, and then start like making out shapes, and like maybe that's going to be a building, maybe that's going to be a tree, and this is going to be the person's face. Okay, let me start on the person's face. Okay, let me start building their body. So it's very backwards. I don't really know what I'm doing when I do a new piece, and I don't really know what it's going to lead to. But like for instance, the bar mats, I had already designed a zombie glass based on this green one. I designed a zombie glass, and that one sold out. So then I was like, okay, I'm going to do a bar mat, and I'm using elements that I've already done before, but that match the same theme. So I'm going to do the bar mat, and then I end up doing a glass based on the current, like the first bar mat. And then I decided to use the first zombie glass. So I'm kind of like figuring out where I can use similar designs and do like, I don't know. I don't have any plans. I just kind of do what I want and just make whatever, and it's all a mess. Mary can tell you, it's all it's crazy.
You got not just the artist style, you've got the merchandising down. That's amazing.
These are my little felt slip mats for your turntables, or you can put a little flower on it, or you can put them on the wall, which is what I have in my bedroom right now.
I think Lilibird and Lone Calls need those.
Yeah, exactly. And this one, it's a lot of shadow, but this one's like, I'm using elements that are already kind of pre-established with what I'm doing this year. So like maybe I designed these elements back in April, but now I'm like, this would be a really good thing to use. And the same goes for like, I'm doing paper coasters that are matching the same designs, but there's also custom recipes on the back of them. So you gotta get the you got to get the bar towel set that comes with these coasters and the paper umbrellas, but then you get a drink with it. And then I got like this Disneyland slip
So,
mat. So it's
okay,
just,
now
I
I have to
just,
ask,
yeah.
how did you come up with the idea for turntable pads?
So I had done the paper coaster first, and I posted it on Instagram, and I put like a little song on the story. And then my friend was like, "Oh, that's so cool. Are you making split mats?" And I was like, "What? Making what?" And he's like, turntable split mats. I'm like, "That's genius." So I found a company that would produce them, just these really like thick, really well printed split mats. And it's funny because I then looked at my turntable and I'm like, oh yeah, I have a slip mat that's a Weird Al slip mat when I bought this huge Weird Al vinyl collection. Of course I know what slip mats are. I just never thought about ordering them, But it's so funny because like Hidden Harbor just came out with their own slip mat, and they messaged me. They're like, "You're designing the same stuff as us. So we're doing a bar mat and we're doing a slip mat." It's just kind of funny how product ideas just crop up.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it's fun. It's definitely a different thing to do, but
So with COVID, you've been doing a lot of work, and obviously you're selling your stuff online.
yes, yeah. I've been doing as many commissions as I can do. Like I just finished up a Mai Tai glass commission for someone up in Portland, and when I started in March, or when I guess lost my job in March, I did a zombie and a Mai Tai glass for somebody as well. So I try not to overwhelm myself with commissions because I'm not the most like motivated person unless it's a product that I'm excited about, like for myself. But but I need to be more like, okay, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna do work. But it's hard when I'm also packing like 30 orders and then I have to do all my like house chores and everything.
Mary's still making you work around the house? That's rude.
Yeah, she's back at work that's like a month and a half ago, and she's doing 40 hours. So I kind of have to help out since she had to go back more than I have to. But it's fine.
So
we're happy.
Tiki Triangle was asking about approximate price. I don't know what you're looking at there, Tiki Triangle.
I saw that comment, and that's what I thought. Shirts.
Oh, shirts.
I think I'm probably gonna do what I did for the current one I have, which was also it was this pattern. This is the bar towel, but it was this Enchanted Tiki's pattern. So that one was 65, and I think I'll just stick to the same, just kind of not make them too expensive because I don't know. It's cool to see a lot of custom shirts out there, but it's hard, I think, for people to pull the trigger on like a $100 shirt. I think 65 is good.
Yeah, that's a very good price. Yeah, that works. Yeah,
Yeah.
We've got your website in the chat, and we've got the Shaka code for your card, by the way, in the chat as well.
Yeah.
And I know you've been on Tiki Comer for a while, so thank you for that. Appreciate that.
Yeah, like Tiki Caliente. I think right after you like got it kicked in, you got the app kind of like ready. I remember you coming by and gave me all set up.
Yeah,
probably 2 years ago now. Was that?
No, just over a year
and a half
ago. Yeah, we launched it in
Right.
August of last year.
So you showed me in May, because that was Caliente of when Caliente actually happened in May of 2019. You came by my booth and you set me up.
Yeah.
Cool. That's cool.
Yeah. No, definitely appreciate you doing that. Love your art, man. I mean, you've got a great style. It's I know when I first saw it, and people may say this to you, that it's reminiscent of a certain artist in the Palm Springs area. But I like your designs a lot. I think you have a different style, a different eye for sure.
Thank you. I try to, definitely inspired by Shag, but I try to keep it like, right when I was starting, it was probably a little bit like mimicky, but I try to break it off and really make it different. But I'm inspired by like so many Disney artists and so many old like 60s cartoon artists. So everyone's kind of inspired by somebody, so it's kind of hard to do something super original, but I feel like the more I work and the more I do my own tikis, like it really differentiates me.
Yeah, I mean, I've been kind of glad actually that we haven't been able to go to marketplaces. I haven't seen you at marketplaces because you're one of the vendors that every time I walk by, money just falls out of my wallet and I have no stuff to carry home because you've got some really cool stuff. So, and the swizzle sticks, I saw that parrot swizzle stick.
So this one I got about a year ago. Kind of hard to see this lighting. this little bird on one
Yeah.
side, and then it's a tiki, and you can snap them, which is something I stole from Disney, so that you can fit it into your shorter glasses. And then I decided, instead of throwing this away like Disney does, you can like pick a fruit with it. But I have maybe 100 of these left, so I'm only selling the sets right now. And I just got confirmation today that my new swizzle stick, which is a bird of paradise with a pineapple on the bottom, just shipped today. So I should have it, I guess, in 5 days. And I'll definitely sell those the second I get them, because there's 10,000 of them and it's going to take up all the space I don't have.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a few. That's a few swizzle sticks.
Yeah.
So, man,
I want to show you. I want to show you one more thing too. One more thing I just got.
Yeah.
This is part of this whole Enchanted Tiki's set that I've been doing. I decided to design a big, long, kind of like a 3-piece print, and I just got these in. I don't even know if you'll be able to see the whole thing.
Yeah.
The giant.
Yeah, we had it on the chair. We could see it.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. It's very long.
Wow.
Just a long print. If you go to my Instagram, you can see it a lot better. Obviously, this is not the best lighting for it, but yeah, super excited about these. My first time doing like an oversized print.
Now, what was the inspiration for that? Or what's the title of that?
I'm probably just gonna call it Enchanted Tiki's, but when I designed it like left to right. I designed the first print, and that was just kind of to do a print with this whole series. And then I decided, oh, it'd be kind of fun to like stretch it and do a second print. And then I committed, and I told people I was doing a third, and I didn't really feel like doing a third. And I was like, well, I already said it. So I did the third, and actually, I think I love it the most. So I just decided to do a full little gallery wrapped canvas.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Pretty fun. Yeah. And I just got my puzzles in the other day, which I ordered like 6 months ago, and I just finished it, and it's very challenging, but it's my puzzle. 1,000-piece puzzle on my website with all the same tikis, the same like motif. Yeah.
Puzzles are really hot right now for COVID.
Yeah.
People staying home with COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, well, because of COVID, not with COVID.
They were
be a whole
hot when
different
they were hot when I thought of the idea in May, and now it's taken so long. I think people are going back to work, so we'll see how many people want to grab those guys, but I'm sure they will.
So tell me something that you've thought of putting one of your designs on that's the craziest thing, but you haven't done it yet. Because dude, you're putting it on everything. I expect to have a V-Rex bowling ball out someday.
I don't know. I got contacted like 2 years ago from this, I think, a snowboard company, and they were talking about doing like a custom snowboard with me, and I'm like, okay, cool. And that never happened. So I think that's a pretty crazy thing to have made. I don't know. It's so hard. I think about it like every day. What's the next product that I can do? And yeah, I don't know.
Bowling ball. That's what you need to think of. Bowling ball.
Yeah. That would be very fun to ship. I'm already having trouble shipping the bar mats because they're so heavy.
Oh yeah.
The bowling ball might be a little bit more. Okay, we got one sale for a bowling ball. possibly
See,
two.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I've seen people do the pins. That's easy. Let's do a bowling ball.
Hurricane glass. Yeah. I thought about hurricane glass, or like the super thistles is what they're called. They're like bold and they flare up. Phone cases are hard. That's a better thing for like those online websites like Redbubble. You can upload your designs, and like you don't have to commit to buying a bunch of cases, and you don't know like what version of the phone the person has. It's probably better for like on-demand printing, like one-offs. But yeah, but bowling ball.
Man. Well, dude, you are a man of many talents and many formats that you deliver that talent upon.
So, doing whatever I can. And there's sometimes where I put out a product, I'm super excited about it, and nobody buys it. I'm like, dang it. So there's hits and misses, you know.
Yeah, those hurt. Those definitely hurt.
Yeah,
I can understand that.
Sure. Yeah. But I got to keep moving forward and just, you know, filling up my storage unit of all my art that I have no space for.
So are you getting out and doing any more of the some of the marketplaces that are open, like Hardcore or OTMP?
I mean, since I'm in the Bay Area, there's really nothing that ever happens up here except for Trader Vic's. Like that's the only one. I think there might be something in Sacramento, but I haven't heard anything. But I did Trader Vic's about a month ago, and it was so. There wasn't a huge turnout for it. But also at this time, I'm doing like so well online. I don't know how motivated I am to do like single day marketplaces since I have to drive down and have all these expenses.
Yeah.
It's a little bit tough, but it's a good excuse to like go and get out of the house. But
plus there's just the being there all day. I mean, I got to give my props to all the vendors that do that.
It's
because you guys work all week in regular jobs, and then you go and then you're out selling your stuff on the weekends.
Man. And like we get there hours before everyone else does, and like we're all battling to like get all our product in. Like we're all moving dollies around, and you're setting it up, and you're so tired, and you're like half awake, and then all of a sudden it's open, and you're just like hit with 6 hours of craziness, and then you got to pack up. Coffee, yes, coffee and a cot. Please bring a bed. But yeah, it's vending is a lot of work, but yeah. But if events happen next year, like I'm already definitely going to do Caliente and Oasis and TikiCon if everything's safe and reopened. But I don't know, kind of have to like rethink vending. And my vending car got hit when we were in Palm Springs because we have 2 cars, and that car was left at home, and someone hit it when they were leaving the house, and that car just got towed away yesterday and totaled. So now we have to figure out what's going to be our vending car. So we're like trying to figure out, do we buy a vending car yet? Can we afford it? Do we just have one car that we drive to work? So that's fun. That's been my
So when
life.
when your bar mats cost $500, we'll know why, because we're all contributing to the vending car.
Exactly. Yeah. it's a $60 mat, and then the shipping's $500 to cover.
There you go.
Yeah. But we're figuring it out, and we're like still thinking about like moving to Sacramento and like buying a house and trying to work all this other stuff into our life of artwork and vending and our day job. So there's a lot going on right now, but we've been very busy.
So I gotta ask, just because I saw it sitting there when you were moving stuff around. So that's a barbell behind you, right?
Yeah, you see it.
Please tell me you put weights on it. You do put weights on it, right? Okay.
Yeah, it's my sister's boyfriend brought that to the backyard, and there's a bunch of workout stuff here. So he tried to come out here and work out about 10 minutes ago, and I told him I need to be on a call, so or else you'd see him like
nice.
I can see him right now. He's in the room. He's doing his jumpy jumps.
Okay. Yeah.
not the best background.
Well, I was impressed that you had barbells. I thought you were out there, lifting weights, pumping iron.
No.
Finding inspiration in the iron.
Yeah, sweat it out and get all my anger out.
There you go. Well,
That's
cool, man. I know
I shake cocktails.
Yeah. Yeah. So Forbidden Island, they are back open. Is that the deal?
Yeah, they're open, but I haven't worked there since August of 2019 or July. It's like a 2-hour drive sometimes because I live 50 miles away from there. So I did my 3 years there, and I was like, this is a little bit ridiculous. I should probably bartend closer to home. Yeah, but they are back open. So if you want to support Forbidden Island, they're doing the little backyard patio, which is awesome.
So where are you tending then?
I'm just at this little restaurant in San Jose, or in Willow Glen specifically. It's called Braze, just like a American restaurant that's got a little tiny bar, but it's all good cocktails. Yeah.
So if we walk in there, we can order a tiki drink and you'll mix that up?
Definitely. Yeah, so it's just me and another bartender that are behind the bar all days of the week, and he's also a tiki guy and wants to like get a tiki bar going. So he definitely knows what he's talking about, and he knows way more about cocktails than I do. I'm faking it. Yeah, definitely. If you go to Braze, you can get a tiki cocktail for sure.
All right. Well, awesome, man. Yeah. Hey, I could talk with you all night, but I know we got other guests. I gotta get these other people on the show.
Sounds good. Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, definitely glad you came out, and love to see all the art you got. And I'm super excited about the bar mats coming back.
See, this is why I was waiting. It's not because I'm a coward and I don't like interviews. It's because I wanted to have all this product ready for you.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. But you have a lot of products. So that's really awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. You're merchandising the heck out of your stuff. So that's great. Love to see that.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Well, let's get into the Makani Marketplace. And let's see, on my list. Oh, look at that. On my list and right in front of my eyes. I don't even have to look very far. Dungeons and DIY. How you doing there, man?
Hey, I'm doing good.
So Sam had sent out Dungeons and DIY. And I'm like, what? Sounds like a Dungeons and Dragon podcast. And it is a Dungeons and Dragon podcast. But you also do some 3D printing and you're into a lot of different things.
What's going on?
Oops.
Yeah. So all in all, I'm a maker, and as generic of a term as that is, I just love making anything and everything. And
You gonna go on a walk?
my recent passion.
I'm looking for the culprit. You can go ahead and keep talking.
All right, no problem. My recent passion has definitely been D&D, and so I'm taking my skills of 3D printing and painting and weathering and using that in the RPG and board game world. But since about 2011, I've been making all kind of things from, masks made out of foam floor mats to, Iron Man helmets that are bondoed and hand sculpted and everything. So my interests are very far and wide.
Oh, very nice. Now, where are you based out of?
So originally from Kentucky, but about 3 years ago, my wife and I moved to Orlando, to the other magical kingdom place.
And the other Orange County, by the way, which is interesting.
You're right. Yeah. My wife was born in Orange County in California, and now we live in Orange County. So it's quite funny.
Well, I had moved from Orange County, California to Orange County, Florida. I lived in Orlando, just north of Orlando there for a few years. And when we first moved there, every night on the news, they kept talking about, an Orange County man this or an Orange County that. I'm like, why are they talking about California? This is really weird. And then it finally hit me one day. Oh, wait, this is Orange County as well. Got it. So yeah, I feel you on that. So let's talk about some of the cool tiki stuff you got going on.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like I said, I've been doing some 3D printing for about 4 or 5 years now. And recently, the tiki style has kind of really hit 3D printing, especially during quarantine. Everybody that has had a 3D printer that hasn't used in a while has now broken it out because they've got nothing better to do. And so we've seen a lot of artists kind of pop up recently making a bunch of files. And so like, I don't know how hard it is to see, but like Chewbacca, done
Okay.
in a...
Okay, so before you go too much further, 3D printing, help me understand that.
No problem. So basically...
Because that looks like a lot of paper.
This is wood PLA filament. So this is a polylactic acid is what PLA stands for. And
I take pills for that.
Right,
so I
exactly.
don't get the poly. Yeah, so I don't get
no
that.
swelling. Yeah,
exactly. The indigestion, it's really there.
And this filament looks like weed eater string, right? And it's got a percentage of wood sawdust in it. So when it's printing, it smells like someone's using a wood burner. It sands like wood. It takes wood stain. So this isn't like acrylic paints. This is all different wood stains to give Chewy this look. Yeah. So basically, if you think of like, it's like a CNC machine, right? But whereas a CNC machine will mill away material from a block of material, a 3D printer is building that material like laying bricks, one layer at a time until you have it fully done. And so it's basically a hot glue gun with a brain. and the computer brain tells it what shape to draw the bead of plastic in. And after several hours, you get a piece that's fully printed, So this is what Sam contacted me about, because this is the lower jaw of the creature from the Black Lagoon. So
I was a little worried she was looking for dentures.
Right. Yeah. She looked like she's got pretty good teeth. So,
yeah, Sam, you don't need that.
Straight off the printer, printed in a green material, and that would look fine. But what I love to do is take it and weather and paint and make my stuff look as realistic as I possibly can in a fantasy element. So.
Wow. So how long did it take you to 3D print that?
That's a fun question. It took probably 3 days total and 3 different prints. The fins are 2 pieces each on each side. So that was 4 pieces that all printed at once. And that was probably a 12-hour print. The jaw, this is a 3-hour print. So the ears and the jaw could all happen in 1 day. And then the head is split top and bottom. And each of those took about a day to print. But it all just kind of snaps together and very minimal gluing. And if you get the other file, which is like a wall hanger, you can put them together and you can have a really cool display piece that hangs on your tiki bar. So I've met a couple folks that really love the creature from the Black Lagoon, and they want to hang this guy in their tiki bar. And so we'll be printing some more of these, a little bit bigger scale, to make it more realistic to what the creature's head would actually be size-wise, because it's a little small. So this is like preteen creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, it's Creature Junior.
Right, exactly, yeah.
So how do you get the file? Where do you get the file for that 3D? Because you have to have it's 3-dimensional. You have to have it all the way around what that looks like. It's not just a 2D piece of art.
Right. So if you are talented enough to be able to digitally sculpt these kind of things in like Maya or Mudbox or any of those kind of programs, that is the easiest way to get anything that you ever wanted, because you sculpt it and then you print it. Unfortunately, I'm not, as fun as it is for me to paint and as talented as I think I am with the painting element of it, I can't sculpt. Digitally, at least. And so you have to go and search for these 3D printed files. And there are lots of websites like Thingiverse and My Mini Factory. This particular file came from a gentleman over at 3dkitbash.com, and he's got a bunch of fantasy skulls. And so he's got Star Wars based skulls, and he's got a bunch of different fantasy skulls. And so it was really cool to see. And living down here in the theme park capital of the world, it feels like, we've got Universal and we've got everything. And so I have a love for the original movie monsters. And when I saw this, I went, oh, this would be so fun to, 3D print and then give it a paint job to make it look like we found the skull in the swamp here in Florida.
Wow. That is incredible. So now, how are you, because I'm trying to remember, I was out on your Instagram site, but you don't have a store, you just have people call you up and request.
Yeah, we don't, I don't really have a store, and realistically, I used to run a cosplay page, Invictus Cosplay. I've kind of stepped away from that scene. And more I'm focusing on just making things and not going out and doing as much. And so more or less people, I post what I make on social media, Dungeons and DIY on Facebook and on Instagram. And people are like, holy cow, where'd that come from? I just go, hey, I'm not attached to anything. And, kind of sell it I make it, and then I go, well, that was cool. If I like it, I'm sure someone else does too. And my wife is really happy whenever I sell the things I make instead of just cluttering our apartment.
Yeah, I would imagine. I think that's just that's part of the Y chromosome. They're just happy when you get stuff out of the house. Yeah,
absolutely. And so like this is the Mandalorian Tiki skull. One of my buddies, Jeff Wicks, over at Hex 3D, he designed a bunch of these Black Panther Tiki and all the different Tikis that I've shown. And I loved it. And I was like, oh, the Mandalorian, that's such a cool show. I'm going to print one and paint one. And it's going to be neat to have. And as soon as I took a photo and posted it on Facebook, I had 7 people.
Oops, did we lose you? Oh, sure. And I just had a really good question to ask him too. All right. Well, we'll bring him back on when he comes back in. That was some pretty cool stuff. That was crazy. Yeah, that whole 3D printing. I was going to ask him if you can 3D print mugs. Because it would have to be hollow inside. I didn't know if it could make something hollow. That'd be kind of cool. And yep, not seeing him come back on. So it looks like we lost him. All right, so let's move on to AM Studios. AM Studios. Eric, is that you?
That's me.
All right. I was trying to remember. I didn't put down your name next to AM Studios. Like, oh shoot, who was that again? I think that's Eric.
Yep.
All right. So how are you?
Fantastic.
And so AM Studios, where does that come from? I keep thinking of the old song AM Radio by
that might have
can't remember the name of the group.
Shortly after college, stayed up really, really late, doing different projects, murals and this and that. So a lot of people would question me when I come home at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. They're like, wow, you really party? And I'm like, actually, I'm working. And they're like, well, that's a good way or a good excuse. And I said, no, I really am working that late. So that's kind of the whole AM Studios thing was born.
Nice. That makes a lot of sense. I could definitely see that. So yeah, show us some of your art there. Those don't look to be bowling balls, but they look like Christmas tree ornaments. So I was excited for a second.
Playing around with some art. Actually, playing around with a lot of different stuff and doing some wood graining, doing some ornaments, working on some commission pieces, surfboards, skimmers, all kinds of different stuff. Actually, let me just hold that so you can kind of get a good. Is that coming in okay or no?
That's beautiful.
But I do a lot of custom pieces. These are all one-off, so no printing going on. But that's kind of the way I like it for right now. These are all one-of-a-kind custom pieces that people can call, and they call the shots. It's basically whatever they want on a particular canvas or board or whatever their substrate they want to work on.
So you're saying you're not setting up, you haven't set up a store and are selling things. You're doing more on commission then.
Yeah, a store would be great. Haven't got to that point as of yet, but would love to be able to do that.
Yeah, that's some really nice artwork.
What I started doing recently are some of these minis. Everybody's got real limited space, especially in SoCal, and I'm here in Fullerton. So I thought it'd be a good discipline to start doing some of these wave pieces really small. And then that way people can enjoy them, but they don't feel like they have to have 5-6 feet of wall space to be able to put that in their home.
Yeah, no, that's nice.
So some, all different kinds of stuff. I'm pretty versatile that way. I do take some commissions for some murals and different size canvases, working on a set right now for my brother-in-law of some floral pieces that are kind of meaningful to him for his gal, and it has a lot to do with my mother-in-law that passed away this last year. So some kind of nice emotional, sentimental type projects as well.
So now what, have you always been doing art pieces like this?
Pretty much art one way or another shortly after diapers. So I've been doing this for an awful long time, but I am very passionate about it, really enjoy. I just feel so blessed to be able to do what I do, and to have people take an interest in it is a huge part of that.
Yeah, it's awesome. Now, what brought you into Tiki? I see you've got a fink down there, you've got a crow down there, but you've got mostly Tiki stuff. What brought you into the Tiki realm?
The whole Tiki thing has been kind of, when I moved to SoCal about 5 years ago, I had a little bit of an idea what it was like, and then kind of got out here and actually went to a Tiki show a couple of years back, and met this fantastic artist out there, and I really got the bug. And I don't have the finances to, but I'd love to have a whole garage full of collectibles and stuff. And I thought, you know what, this is a really cool art form. I'm going to start doing some paintings that are much more Tiki oriented. Did some work with Disney out at Star Wars and got to kind of get a little bit better feel for what people are looking for, and then visit these different shops and different markets. And now I feel like I really have a good grasp of what people are after. And I really want to get into some carving in the not too distant future here as well. Full on Tikis with the chainsaw and the chisels and the whole works. So.
Whoa. Okay. How do you go from paper to chainsaws?
You know, I'm getting older, and you just keep bouncing around into whatever kind of tickles your fancy for that particular day. That's the great thing about it, is I don't really have a boss to report to other than my wife with this stuff. And if she sees me putting out some good work, she's like, yeah, go get into this, go get into that, explore it, you know, see what you can do with this stuff. She's the one that actually said, why aren't we painting on some glass ornaments? And I'm like, well, why aren't we? And, you know, you can do all kinds of stuff with that. These are they're kind of in process, but some smaller waves, ocean waves that I'm doing on a whole set of ornaments. So, I mean, the sky's the limit. Whatever somebody wants to do, I'm willing to work it out for them and make it happen.
Yeah, see, those I could easily see in a store, in an Etsy shop or some kind of store, to be able to sell those online, because those are great.
And then the wood graining I really got into too. And some people think it's a little passe, but I still think it's a really beautiful way of painting something. And sure, you guys could go and get a vinyl wrap for that, but wouldn't it be cool to have your own custom cup with a Tiki mask on there that you actually had some input as to designing it, you know? So.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, now I have to ask, is your hand model your lovely wife?
That's my wonderful daughter, who's, like I said, was my tech supervisor here.
Gotcha. Because we need to see the face. We can't just see the hand. We have to see the face. Come on, say hi. Say hi to everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
Well,
You're doing a very good job.
Lesson in so many ways, because they kind of keep the whole creative thing going. You know, I have an idea for imagery, but they're like, "Why don't you try it on this or try it on that and see what happens?" So.
Yeah, that's some awesome stuff you have there. That is really cool.
Skateboard blanks are so readily available, so I started working out at quite a few of those now as well. And most of them have much more of a Tiki vibe. Either it's a mask, or it's a totem, or something like that, or some exotic birds. So I'm really into the whole parrots and that type of thing as well.
So have you thought about taking any of your art and putting it onto shirts or glassware, or following B-Rex's model here, putting it all over the place?
That guy's amazing. He is. He's got the skills for the whole merchandising thing, and it would be great. I think first I'd like to see, who's really interested in this, and then, and obviously take it that way. I really would love to do some shirts. I used to do custom airbrushing t-shirts, still do if I get a call for it. But, if I had a really honed in design I was really happy with, I'm sure I could get a lot of people, to purchase that too. And then a lot of the caps and things like that. I mean, it just goes on and on. If I find somebody who's really interested in it, why not have a really beautiful piece printed? So, but that guy's got it done. He's amazing.
Oh yeah, no, I know. That's why he could afford to not come on our show for so long. He's like, I'm just busy, you know.
Some of us are struggling a little bit. I don't think he's struggling too much.
Well, you have some great art there, man. That is really some good stuff. So we've got your info in the chat. We also have a promo card for you, a Shaka code. That's in the chat as well. And oh yeah, that's, you know, it's a good thing for me that my wife is not here, because otherwise I'd probably be buying that piece right now.
There you go. Turtles are kind of my thing.
Yeah, as they are hers. So
sure.
Yeah, that's a beautiful piece.
There's not a whole lot of gray area for that. Turtles are one of those things, either you're obsessed. It's like sharks, because I love sharks too. And it's either I'm obsessed with it or not really interested at all. There's not a whole lot of gray area.
Yeah, well, for me, it's the octopus that you had earlier. That's the one that caught my attention. That's what always grabs my attention. Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you.
I love that. All right, so we have all your details in the chat session there. So make sure to grab that up, and Shaka for his card. So those of you that have the Tiki Comer app, please do that. And I see Stephen is back. So let's go back to Stephen, because I got to ask that question.
Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And definitely appreciate you coming on.
All right. You guys take care. Thank you.
Let's see. Did Stephen head back off? Oh, man, I'm never going to get my question answered.
He's having technical difficulties, but he'd love to join us another time.
Okay. All right. So then I can ask my question then of, can we do 3D printed mugs? I didn't know if you could do a hollow printing or not.
I'm pretty sure you can.
I would think so.
Yeah, there's no reason why not.
I just want to, and then I would want to know, okay, how many days would that take? Because I think that would be a long time. All right, so we have Rich in Sasanac. Well, you are on mute, my friend, so you have to unmute yourself there. You are muted on your phone in the app, or on whatever device you're using for that app. There you go.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
What?
Can you hear me?
What? I can do this all day.
All right, good. Sorry. Yeah. Well, thanks for having me here, Jeff. I've been drinking the whole time that this has all been going on, so I'm a little I'm warmed up, ready to go.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're supposed to be doing, man. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
So we were talking earlier before everybody came on, because I was through your site, and you are, I don't know what it is. All the people we had on tonight, I'm completely envious, because all of you are multi-talented, and you fit right in there as well. You've got a multitude of talents that you bring to light.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm a musician primarily, right? So I have a band called the Great Shakin' Fevers. I played in a surf band in the 90s called the Heat Scores, and I have a band called Savage Henry and the infamous One Pounders, but don't look it up. It's disgusting. But
yeah,
you know,
I was going to ask you about that one.
Yeah, it's just something, you know, we're 22 years into that now, and it's like, what are you going to stop? I mean, people would come to the shows if we were allowed to have shows, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like down there, but it's like, even here, it's pretty lame these days. There's not much rock and roll going on. So this last January, you know, like, right now, I don't know, you see, we're in my kitchen. This is my kitchen.
Yeah. So you were saying your house is, you've done your whole house as Tiki.
Yeah, I'm a bachelor, clearly. And it's like, one of the guys in my band, like 20 years ago, he got this Tiki man tattooed on him. He was always into that stuff. And then I'd go to his place, and he's a doctor now. And you go there, and he's got all this amazing shit. And then, sorry for swearing, but we went, our band played in Vegas maybe 3 years ago for the first time. We played 3 years running, but went to Punk Rock Bowling in Vegas, and we played there. and we ended up going to the Frankie's Tiki Room and the Golden Tiki. And I was just like, I had just like split from my wife, and I'd moved back into this rental house that I'd rented out for years. And I'm like, I'm going to do my house up like this. And he's like, you should do that. And I'm like, nobody ever stopped me. And so I'm just kind of like, well, it goes to this. But, it's like up here, I mean, that artwork isn't like, you don't go to every shop on the corner street and find that kind of thing. And it's expensive. I'm like, I got a lot of walls to fill. I'm like, well, you know what? I bet you I could paint. I bet you I could. And I went to Walmart and I bought some paints. And I went to Dollarama and I bought some canvases. And I'm like, I bet you I could paint. And so like the first painting I did, this is in January, this last January. And I did ask the guy's permission to post it on Instagram, and I can't remember whose piece it was, but I was just trying to copy it because I was just trying to learn how to paint. Right. So like I did that bit. I'm like, that's pretty good. I don't know. It's about 20 inches high. It's a, piece. I'm like, okay, right. So, and then like.
So had you ever painted before?
No. And
you
so
just decided I'm going to pick up a paintbrush. And
yeah.
I'm gonna...
Well, I mean, like I used to draw when I was a little kid. I used to draw cartoons. And when I was a teenager, I used to draw basically muscle cars and motocross bikes because that's what I was interested in. And then when I got to a certain age, I'm just like, there's no future in drawing. There's no future in art. I'm like, forget it. I just quit doing it. And my brother is actually a really good tattoo artist now. And I never even, when we were kids, I don't remember him even drawing anything, but he's, and I'm like, well, if that idiot can do it, I can probably draw something. Right. So I'm like, and then, so like, that was the first painting I did. And then this is the third painting I did, which is the first original piece where I'm just going to wing it and draw this tiki face. And it's actually one of my favorite ones. And a lot of my, like I've only been painting since January, a lot of them are just faces floating out of the darkness, kind of like that.
So you've only been doing this since January?
Yeah, since January. Yeah. Well, the house has been coming along a lot. But I couldn't fill up the walls. I couldn't afford to buy stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to just start painting my own paintings. And I've done a few like shrunken heads. Although, I mean, this obviously has a skull in it. So obviously a real shrunken head wouldn't have a skull. I don't care. It looks good, right? And then I cut up, okay, my job is I'm a steam engineer at a hot dog factory. So I work at this wiener plant, we're 24/7. I'm always there. And they got pallets and stuff out in the backyard, and there's a saw shop. I'm probably not allowed to use, but I'm the kind of guy that figures it's easier to ask forgiveness than permission. So I just start using the saw shop and making these frames, right? Like that's just like, they have barn board. It's all the vogue these days. It's literally some old crappy pallet that I cut it up and I mill the bit into the back and staple it all up. It's like, I got nothing else to do for 12 hours. My job's actually pretty easy. And then.
So now, have you ever drawn prior to January? Painted?
Oh yeah, I used to draw when I was a kid. I used to draw cartoons.
But I mean, like to this kind of degree? I mean,
nothing.
I used to draw too as a little kid.
Yeah, no,
not like
nothing.
this.
No, nothing. Well, 20 years ago or so, I was in a surf band, and so I did a few like drawings for that, and but in the last in the 20 years in between, nothing really. I just kind of like I don't even doodle on napkins, and it's kind of like, I think I can do that, and like now I've got my walls are full of. I don't want to disrupt the camera too much because I only cleaned up this part of the house, but I mean, like, I got lots of stuff on the wall.
You are a bachelor then.
Yeah. So as far as selling and stuff, I never sold anything. I've given a few friends a few things and that, but if people want to follow my Instagram, that's COVID Lee Roth. Eventually I'm going to run out of wall space and probably have some things for sale. But I'm really honored to be here tonight because this is cool. I just watching like Brian and Samantha's thing, and it's like, Can you just like sign into this every week or what?
Oh yeah, yeah. We are here every week. This is our 30th edition,
Killer.
our 30th
Killer.
episode.
Yeah.
That's why it's Tiki Trail Live XXX.
I like
Excuse me, Tiki Trail Drive XXX. I had to put the little emphasis in. So yeah, I mean, so I would love to get some of this that stuff that you're drawing up here. So can we reach out to you and say, hey, I'm thinking of this, or I'm thinking of that. Will you draw that, or would you?
Maybe. I mean, like, cause yeah, like a lot of times I just draw. Like, I'll sit there. If I got 5 night shifts, I'm like, no, I'll buy some canvases and that. And I don't know what to do. If somebody messaged me and said, hey, why don't you try this? I just might. I don't know. I'm really new to it, right? And I always post everything I do onto my Instagram, usually in really poor lighting because I'm so excited as soon as I get it done that I take. We got fluorescent lights at work. I'm like, okay, well, here's my new masterpiece in this shitty fluorescent light, blah blah blah. I'll put a filter on it, which will mess up your perception of what colors I used even more. But yeah, I mean, yeah, anything. I mean, if somebody suggested something, I could, I don't know. I'm like a child at work getting paid to do something I'm not doing or something. Sorry, I had a lot of booze while I was watching those other guys.
Well, and as well, you should believe me. I'm finishing up starting up my next one as well.
Yeah, this is my Sunday night. I got to work at 6 o'clock in the morning, which would be 7 o'clock to you, but I started early.
Yeah, that's a little too early in the morning for me personally. Well, man, appreciate it, and I would love to. So we would love to see the house when you have that at a cleanlier stage at some point.
Yeah, well, I'll come on again one of these nights, and then I'll have a little more prepared, and I can give you a little tour. It's pretty dope, but I kind of shuffled a few things into this room and that to try and make it look cool.
Well, I definitely think you did a good job with that, especially up in
Saskatoon,
yeah, there you go.
Saskatchewan. It snowed last night and it's still on the ground, so this is probably it. We're locked in.
Saskatoon. Wow. Yeah. Friday morning, can't wait to get on a plane to be back home in sunny Southern California. No snow.
We're not even allowed into the States right now because the Rona.
Yeah, no, you guys aren't letting us up there either, unfortunately.
Well, you're not missing anything.
Well, thank you for coming on to the show tonight.
Yeah, man.
Great stuff. I can't believe you just started 9 months ago. I think in another 9 months, you're going to be overtaking B-Rex on his stuff. Yeah. I can see it.
I'm going to show you my latest one just before you let me go.
All right.
Because I was painting the faces kind of floating out in the darkness and all that kind of stuff. And then I started painting a couple of volcanoes and a couple of palm trees. And I thought, well, shit, I'm just going to put it all in one. This is my latest one. And I'm really into doing like the sky, kind of like sunsetty, because it's real easy. But I don't know. You can see it. I got a little volcano and a palm tree and my guy here. And this is kind of where my future stuff's going to go because I really like the depth of all that. And like I said, I started doing this because I couldn't afford to buy it. And like, yeah, I bet I could paint some things. And I really like. Yeah, and this frame I didn't make. This is a thrift store frame, and I think it might have had a puppy painted on velvet or something. And it was a nice puppy, but the puppy's probably dead, and so is the painting. So I just took
Get rid of the puppies. Yeah, we don't need those.
Yeah, nobody likes velvet puppies these days.
Exactly. Well, thanks for joining us, man, and sharing your stuff. This is awesome.
Excuse me.
You get the coldest guest we've ever had. Got snow on the ground. So
oh man, there's snow on the ground, and Halloween is still a go, but they're saying don't trick or treat out of your neighborhood. So because I do a pretty good Halloween display out here and stuff, but I'll come on next week, maybe show you a little flash of it or something. But I gotta go to bed right up. I gotta go to bed right away, man. I said I wasn't gonna have your rum, and I ended up having a couple of triple rums, and I really appreciate it, man. You guys all have a good night, and I'm gonna peace out.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. And I'm going to see if Stephen is not back in yet. I know he's been trying to get back in. So, Sam, what's happening next week?
Yeah, so next week it's getting pretty close to Halloween. So we're going to have a lot of cool artists joining us. You can expect Abigail Flowers, our jazz ukulele artist. We're also going to have, yes.
Abigail was with us a few weeks ago. It was Nashville, right? That's where she's out of.
Nashville. Mm-hmm. So we're excited to have her back. The Makani Marketplace is going to feature Jacob Medina, Sullivan Art Co., Horror in Clay, and Home Aloha Company, which actually consists of Matt Reese and Jim Bakke.
So I am really going to be making sure that I enunciate that one particular vendor that we're going to have, Horror in Clay. I don't want to slur that or run it together. That might not sound right.
What you said, yeah.
Yeah, Horror in Clay.
And we're still confirming our mixologist, so no mixologist yet.
All right. And yeah, so that'll be next week. And then the week after, as we kind of all talked about, want to make sure everybody's prepared. It's going to be a crazy night as it is. The election night here, we're not going to do a Tiki Trail Live. So we're going to take a break that week so we all can be drowning in our sorrows or dancing wildly in the streets, whichever way you go based upon the election. So yeah, it's all right, cool. Well, thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. Oh, and I had told everybody, I should have said this earlier, there's a little bit of a surprise. So yeah, last week we didn't have the Shaka, the promo cards for the Shaka codes for the promo cards. And a couple of our guests had made offers out for those of us on the show that if Aaron White with Promystics, remember the really cool mugs that he was doing? Again, somebody else who just like says, oh, I want to go do this. And then boom, they're creating amazing stuff and doing really well. Love seeing that. Aaron offered up 10% with if you put in the Tiki Trail code onto his website. And the promo card for him is 1535, 1535. So if you enter that in, you can get the promo card that'll take you out to the site, use the Tiki Trail promotion code, and you'll get 10% off. Hawaiian Imports also provided an offer. So if you type in your Tiki Comer 8BB7, I had to double check that. Yeah, 8BB7, that's boy 7. Then you get 25, that'll take you out to their site, and they're offering 25% off with the Tiki Trail promo code. And both of these artists have some really cool stuff. And like with any of the artists, all the folks that were on tonight, please do patronize, patronage, buy their stuff. Let's put it that way. Patronize, I think, goes in a different direction. So yeah, we want you to buy their stuff. That's the whole reason we're doing this. We love sharing the artists and all the cool stuff they're doing. Still not able to get out there just a whole lot on some of these marketplaces and some of the events. So it's always fun to at least be able to provide this as a venue for getting our Tiki fix and for them to be able to sell some of their stuff. So I think with that comes now my favorite part of the show. Let me take, Sam, I think I still have you on the pin. Where did you go? There you are. Let me remove the pin there. And now we're just all the Brady Bunch. So how's everybody doing? I see a lot of head nodding.
We're muted.
I was gonna say everybody's muted, but you're doing this, doing the, yeah, we all got the silent emotions down. So I like that.
Seems like it's been a long week already and it's only Tuesday.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. I 100% agree. Hey, Perkeo, what are you guys doing out there in Indiana with the COVID, man? You guys are, your numbers are starting to go back up. I don't want to see that. I can't come out if those come up.
I have no idea. I mean, my job hasn't changed much. I'm a land surveyor, so I work by myself outside, so it hasn't really affected me. But I just think people still aren't taking it serious.
Yeah. Yeah, no, unfortunately, a lot of my friends back home, yeah, I see some of the stuff they're saying. It's like, guys,
But I
just put
also
a mask
think
on.
a lot more people are getting tested.
Yeah.
So that could be another reason why the numbers are going up.
Yeah, but I'm hearing things like what Bob and Deb were talking about. The hospitals are filling up. So that's where it really becomes an issue. I was talking with somebody in Georgia about a week or so ago, and she's like, "Oh yeah, my friends came here and they were surprised. Nobody's wearing masks. They can go anywhere without a mask." I'm like, "You're in Georgia. That's not a good area to be doing that." She's like, "Oh no, it's not the test, the positive test. It's the the hospitalization." And I said, "Okay." And I'm thinking to myself, well, the cases some of those turn into hospitalization. So if there are cases, uprising cases, there's going to be an uprising in hospitalization. But at any rate, well, hey, the good news is we've gotten this show out of it, and we all got together and been getting together every week. So that's kind of cool. I like that part.
I'm really enjoying the Shaka codes.
Good.
It makes it so much easier to go back and look at their stuff. I really appreciate that.
Yep. Good. Love to hear that. Yeah. We're pretty excited. I mean, we're going to be launching a promotion here, probably not too much longer, to get us to a major milestone on the app. We're going to be hitting 1,000 people on the app.
Awesome.
So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm just like, wow, this is kind of cool. Love the fact that so many people are downloading it and people like you are getting good use out of it. So, and and I still don't like announcing the promo codes. I still feel like I'm calling bingo. So if anybody wants to shout out bingo or "you sunk my battleship" or something like that, I totally get the joke because that's what it feels like. All right, Brenda. So now where are you? Are you in a different part of your tiki bar?
I'm in front of the bar. So you're seeing the front of the bar.
Man. So how big is this tiki bar of yours?
It's only like 10 by 14. So it's not very big, but there's a lot in it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That is way cool. So what's the theme? Do you have a theme to it?
Yeah, there's a whole story behind it. Yeah, it's kind of the explorers that get lost on the island and disappear, and there's cannibal heads and there's shrunken heads and there's artifacts, and yeah.
That is awesome.
So yeah, so everything. So yeah, again, the bar's all made out of crates and burlap bags full of spices and stuff like that. So
what she means to say is that it's chicken tiki.
It should be chicken tiki if somebody would make a chicken tiki. Although there is a chicken.
I will say I've visited her bar and it's fantastic. It's such a good spot. There you go.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait for this COVID thing to come down so I can see this bar.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We miss showing it off. So.
Yeah, and you have I love the fact that you have merch for your bar. You've got custom glassware custom mugs. You have custom mugs.
Yes, we have custom mugs. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
we're
very
still
nice.
doing Mai Tai glass, so one of the local artists will get that job one of these days. So we always try to do local stuff, try to support our artists.
Yep, that's really good. Miles, you look a little Kilroy-ish.
Yeah.
I just see you peeking over the top of into the screen.
Well, Jill got this little light thing that sits on the table, and this is what it does to the ceiling.
Okay, that's cool.
It's like a little
like
groovy
that.
light show. So I laid this thing flat so you could watch the groovy light show, and I didn't have to put on, like pants or anything.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm clothed now. That's fine.
Yeah, who was it?
Earlier in the shower.
Jeffrey Tubin, I guess just got busted for doing something like that.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. So yeah,
Jeffrey
keep your pants
Tubin,
on.
he's the chief legal analyst for CNN.
Yeah.
He had more than just his pants off.
Yeah.
From what I understand.
Yeah.
He thought he was on video mute, but you do it like this, man, like this.
Exactly.
Don't have to be chief legal analyst to figure that out.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Some of these people.
Indian
I
level
don't get
analyst.
that. So Josh and Allie, now with it being, the sun going down, we no longer get the island in the window anymore.
No more island.
Yeah, gosh, I'm bummed about that.
It's like Lost. It moves around.
Oh, there you go. Okay. So Lono and DJ Lilibird, I love that place. So how did you get into, how'd you sneak into Biff's place? I'm hearing myself on echo. Hello. Ah, darn it, you turned it off.
I've actually known Biff for a really long time, since I was like 15 or 16 years old. Yeah, if you can imagine that. Yeah, so we went to the same clubs and dance. Girls that I went to elementary school had an older cousin, and the older cousin was friends with Biff. So they took care of us, the young ones, and we all went out together and experienced had all kinds of wonderful adventures. Yeah. And so, every time I see him, like I won't see him for a while, but we meet up again. It's like we're at the same level, different experiences, but the understanding of life and everything is there. So I love this guy so much. Yeah, just a really great guy, and in and out of our houses. And he's always had cool pads, like whatever he was into, his place would be like amazing. So
The artist who actually did a lot of this stuff, unfortunately passed away a couple of years ago. The artist who did a lot of this stuff, actually, his name was Mark Spazzuti. He did all the faux on my walls. He did a lot of the structure and the design of the fireplace. And you can't see it here, but my hallway is like an Egyptian tomb. As you go down, the door opens up to the bathroom. It looks like a mummy or whatever, kind of like Pharaoh, I should say. But anyways, yeah. And so we kind of envisioned this thing, and it just kind of it blossomed. It used to only be halfway. And I got into Tiki in 2002. 2002, I went to my first Tiki Oasis in Palm Springs. And so I went to a lot of Tiki Oases. Went to a couple of Hukilaus. Always liked Tiki since I was a kid. Tiki Room was one of my favorites, of course. Always liked tropical and jungle stuff. And the irony is I've never been to Hawaii. So it's like, I'm like almost like a, it's like, you're a poser, whatever. But, I plan on it. But I brought it, as much as I could here, that kind of like serenity and lifestyle, and then just having a sanctuary. I work at home, and I just love to have that kind of ambiance around me. It just calms me, and especially these days, so, but I'm glad you, Lil and Aaron allowed me to be part of your show. And I really like your format. I was watching and seeing all the artists, and it has some really cool stuff. I'm going to start watching your show for sure.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, it's we've been doing this for 30 weeks now. Wow. Whew, man. But yeah, the whole idea was, well, we can't go to marketplaces. Let's create one online. How do you do a marketplace? Well, you've got drinks, you've got music, you've got vendors. Yeah, let's do this. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And Lono and Lilibird, you guys have been a great addition to our show. Love having you on. I think you need to have some of B-Rex's turntable pads.
Oh, I was thinking that. Yeah, those are pretty cool. I'm gonna go look them up.
Yeah, I mean, I've never heard of doing that.
Oh.
He ever the showman. This is the guy I need to start following and get lessons from on merchandising and how to do this kind of stuff. So yeah.
We'll have to get a camera from above when we get his platters so we can see him spin.
Well, I'm sure he's going to have the B-Rex overhead camera that'll be etched on the side very soon. So he'll have that as part of his merchandise. I promise you. All right, let's take you guys off of there. There we go. So B-Rex is he must be off getting the weights for his barbell set. So Jerry and Sandy, how are things going down there in South Carolina?
Oh gosh, we just been quiet because we're kind of wiped out. We got home a few hours ago. We were up in the DC area for a few days, visiting some friends and also clearing some brush and trimming bushes and stuff. But we got to our favorite Chinese restaurant with our favorite drinks and
Tiki drinks.
their favorite tiki drinks. Yeah.
Well, if you want to come to California and clear some brush, there's a lot of brush that needs to be cleared. Just saying. Yeah, no, I always love hearing the politicians and the talking heads on TV talking about the fires in California and how those silly Californians not maintaining their land. The stuff that's burning is federal land. So it's like, yeah, we need to work on getting that cleaned up, right? But it's not just on us, but yeah. So Miles, you look like you're in a like a vintage French film noir scene, just
it's
darkly
just
sitting in the corner.
That light I got at one of the last dawn shows at dawns. It makes everything, all the shadows in my little tiki corner.
Nice.
Jill just rearranged my whole life. She fanged the shui out of it. So it's got all this extra. It works better now. You fanged the shui out of it. Yes.
Okay, I'm hearing a song in there. I think that needs to be the next song you guys write.
Write it down in your book. So where are you again exactly now?
I am in Windsor Locks, Connecticut. So like just, yes, it is. Well, not today was all right, actually. But I was stuck in the hotel room. Yeah.
Where is it in relationship to Hartford?
Everything's near everything in Connecticut, honey.
Yeah, we are just north of Hartford. It's a suburb of Hartford. We're probably like 15 minutes from Hartford.
I think you can walk across Connecticut in 30 minutes, can't you?
It's not really bad this time of year. It only gets really freezing like in December, right?
No, it was getting pretty cold a couple of the days here. Fortunately, it warmed up just in time for me to go back inside and go to work.
See, the big tough New Yorker here. Yeah, what do you got? It's that's not snow. Let me tell you about snow. Let me tell you about the snow on the 49th Street Bridge.
Oh, I guarantee you, Perkeo will back me up on this. South Bend, way more snow, dealing with snow than New York City ever did. That's for sure.
Yeah, but they don't talk as much about it.
No, just because we accept it. That's just how it is, and we move through it. We're good Midwesterners, man. We don't complain.
Did you all see the early snow? Did you all see the early snow in Minnesota today? It's like Christmas there today.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I heard that storm was coming down.
Yeah.
Maybe from our friend in Saskatoon.
I lived there. I lived there when I was younger, and it was there's a Halloween blizzard, and I went trick or treating, and I got all the neighbors candy because nobody else went. So I lucked out that. But I remember that being a really early snow, so it's before Halloween with this huge blizzard.
I was back in Wisconsin this time last year on Halloween, visiting my daughter, and it had snowed on Halloween.
That's early.
Yeah, I guess. I kept telling my kids, I said, wait till you hit that first Wisconsin winter. You're going to hate it. You're going to be crying, Mama.
Oh, yeah.
So she's moving back next summer when her lease is up.
Yeah, exactly. Get away before the mosquitoes carry her away, right?
Oh, geez. I don't think that she's terribly impressed with the Midwest.
It's a great place to be from.
You know,
And I love
when she
going
told
back
me
to
this,
visit.
when she told me this, she was going to Santa Barbara City College.
Yeah, yeah.
And she says, "Oh yeah, I'm going to go back to Wisconsin to go to school." I go, "Kid, you go to school on the beach. You have a nicer view than a lot of country clubs I've been to. And you're guaranteed admission to UCSB if you keep your GPA up." What the heck is in Wisconsin? And you know what is the answer you give when you're 20 years old to your parent who's questioning your motives? It's not there. It's not here. You know, it's not where you are. I just got to go out and be me. Okay.
Oh man, I tell you what, I came out and I spent the summer in Santa Barbara after my sophomore year in college, and I was convinced I was going to transfer to UCSB. And I spent some time on the campus, not a few days, and I'm going, yeah, I'm not going to transfer because I want to actually graduate from college. Because if I come here, I am not ever going to graduate. Way too many
I got my
distractions.
bachelor's. Yeah, I've got my bachelor's from UC Santa Barbara.
Oh, did you? Nice.
And I went to campus a couple of years ago, and I'm looking around and I go, why the hell was I so focused on books?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm studying, I'm trying to get into law school, you know, all this BS. And I wasn't even aware of it. I was living in Ventura. So I would go home after my classes. I wouldn't hang out in Isla Vista where all the wild Halloween parties that Sam went to are. But I certainly know about them.
Yeah, no, that's a cool campus, man. Oh, beautiful campus. Oh, there's the echo again. Today, I consider myself to be the luckiest man alive. Oh, you cut out the very end of it, man. You killed me on that. Dang
Okay,
it.
then it's on my end because I've got you hooked up to the Bluetooth speaker. So I'm giving you the echo.
Yeah.
That was the only way I could tell. Eliminate the variable.
If it was going to be somebody, Miles, I would have pegged it as you.
What's that?
I said if it was going to be somebody, I would have pegged it as you.
Somebody what?
If somebody was going to be the one giving me the echo or giving grief there.
Oh, yeah. I was about to give you a Sherlock Holmes quote, but I got sidetracked. So I just eliminated the variable.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
And once you've eliminated the impossible, what you're left with, no matter how improbable, is the truth.
Somebody read a lot of Sherlock Holmes.
I love Sherlock Holmes.
I'm talking to a lot of drunk people. That just went over a lot of people's heads.
Yeah, but Jeff gets it. So
who you calling?
And I bet you
calling
lots of people
drunk.
get it. Just because you didn't, just because you were reading the Brontes or something.
Hey, don't make me put that picture back up.
He's talking to you.
Me?
He doesn't want to hear about the Brontes either.
I'm not talking about the Brontes.
God, I started out as a literature major and I hated the Bronte era.
I didn't graduate with a good enough GPA to know what that is.
Oh, it's that insipid Harlequin romance of the late 1800s that came out of Britain.
Gotcha.
It's horrid to read. I couldn't stand it. It was the only part of my literature curriculum where I said, I think I'll just read the Cliff Notes, or if I could get it, the comic book version. Because I couldn't get through that stuff fast enough.
Yeah, I still have flashbacks from college. Yeah, that I'm late for a test. Yeah. So Brian, man, so what do you think of this is the first Tiki Trail Live? What do you think of our little show?
I'm meeting right now because my parents decided to get into the jacuzzi. So it's very loud.
All right.
So.
All right. Yeah.
So let me move to a better spot in the house. Oh, now
Yeah, that's the party place there. I tell you
I'm
what.
hearing the echo. I thought it was actually a lot of fun. I can't believe that you made me wait. Why did you make me wait like 6 months to do this? I can't believe that you would not allow me.
Yeah, right.
I said I wanted to do it. I was
Yeah,
ready
yeah.
to do it.
Yeah. I guess those emails back to me must have gone into my spam folder or something. Oh, we lost you, BRX. Hey, Miles, put yourself on mute. Oh, wait, I can do that. I got it. I got you. Anita, you don't need to wear the mask. We're all socially distanced. We're safe. I promise you.
I know. I have to do some stuff. That's why I have the mask on. But figuring I'd pop on.
Okay. I thought it's because you weren't 6 feet away from Jerry. On my screen, you're like right next to Jerry. So I thought maybe that's what it was. That's a nice mask, though. I like that.
Thanks. I got it from Tiki John at the Tiki Marketplace last week.
Yep. Tiki Don was on the show a while back. Yeah, he's making some really nice masks. I got one of his masks.
Yeah, I love it.
You know who else makes masks?
Yes, Shag does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've seen some masks you've got there. You got a few masks.
Yeah, I have 5 different designs right now. I kind of got late into the mask game. I put it off for a long time, but realized it's going to be a thing for a while, so decided to get some designs made.
Yeah, I never thought I would buy multiple masks, but seeing it's just going to go on forever, it's like, all right, I might as well have more than just 1 or 2, because then you got to keep getting washed and all that. It's like,
Yeah, it's going to be a weird thing in like 5 years where we look at all the masks that we have. Like I already have like 30 masks on the wall, being like, I never would have expected to have masks, and now we have these masks and we kind of don't need them, but I also think it's a good idea to wear them when you're sick after all this stuff happens, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I know in the Asian cultures, it was masks. They tend to wear masks for health reasons.
Yeah.
Either they're sick or around people.
And why did they not tell us to do the same thing? How come we didn't catch on? They've been doing it way before us.
Because all those years that we've been going, oh, look, doctor, hi, doctor, and being smartasses about it, they finally said, now joke's on you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, that it is. Well, hey, it is after 11. See, you guys kept me out late yet again, man. So hopefully the Bachelor.
You wuss.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It's 8 o'clock, California. Come on.
I know. Well, Tiki Triangle. Yeah, he must have gone off to sleep. Yeah, all the East Coasters, I would always harass them about, what's the problem? Come on, it's not that late. Now I've been out here for a couple weeks. It's like, you know what? Wow. Well, I still have some work I have to go do. That's my problem.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Darn work ruins everything.
It's supposed to rain in the morning, so I get to sleep in late.
What's that?
It's supposed to rain all night and tomorrow morning, so I get to sleep in.
Oh, nice. Nice. Well, yeah, that would make sense. You don't want to be out there in the middle of all that rain.
Yeah, equipment doesn't like the rain, neither do I.
Yeah, I could see that. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to trying to get out to Indiana and Illinois. My goal is to leave on the 1st, provided I can vote safely and effectively early. I think I know where I can drop that off. And if I can do that, then I'm going to be heading out and hitting Chicago on the night of the 3rd, and then probably down to Indianapolis that weekend. And then I think Bob and Deb will probably hit Oklahoma City on the way back towards the end of that trip. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about. But man, I tell you what, I'm watching these rates go up, and all the states between here and there. It's like, if I don't have to stop, I don't care if it's red. But the ones I have to stop in, it's like, I'm going to spend a night in a hotel there, or And then seeing all my friends and family in Indiana and Illinois, I don't know about that either. It's been tough here, actually, very strange. My nephew, my wife's nephew, plays baseball. He's 8. He's on a little league team. And we went to his game on Saturday, went to a game on Sunday. Monday, we find out the coach from the Saturday game tested positive for COVID. And now all the any kids that were near third base, like the third baseman, they were going to have to get tested. Well, then it turns out his kid got tested positive, and his kid played catcher. So now the entire team has to quarantine and be tested and all this stuff. It's like, and what were we doing with them Saturday night? Of course, we had a big, not big, but we had an outdoor gathering. We had a fire pit going, and for the most part we were 6 feet apart. But when you're talking 3-year-olds, 5-year-olds, and 8-year-olds, there is no 6 feet distancing. And it's so, yeah, I think we're cleared it, but yeah, it was kind of a little bit like, oh my gosh, if I have to quarantine here, I'm gonna be pissed. I like the Hilton Garden Inn. It's a nice hotel, but I wouldn't want to have to quarantine here. I want to go home. So yeah, don't want to get caught in anywhere along the road, but trying to get out there, see if I can see you guys.
You're gonna be here the weekend of the Clemson game.
Yeah, that was one of the prime reasons for coming out.
Well, if you're in Indy that Saturday, we can go to the Ace, the Golden Ace.
All right.
We $20 for halftime.
Yeah, I think that's going to be an ugly game, quite frankly. Clemson had 73 points. Trevor Lawrence had 7 touchdowns in the first half on Saturday. Yeah, that's going to be an ugly game for Notre Dame. But, oh well. Such is life. We can't win them all, right?
Well, if they do win it, they got a huge chance of winning the national championship.
Oh, well, I think they would probably end up facing Clemson again in the ACC championship game, and Clemson would probably be pissed. so yeah, I don't know. But hopefully, yeah. Yeah, ooh, I see there's a whole bunch of new messages here. Let's see what we've got. Oh, I just haven't been paying very close attention. Halloween parties in, okay, I take it that's Santa Barbara, not South Bend. Gilgamesh? What's Gilgamesh?
Ballad of Gilgamesh.
Gotcha.
Is an ancient epic poem. I want to say it was from, what was that? What was the name of that country? I mean, it's now modernly Iran, I think, but it wasn't Macedonia, but it was something like that.
Okay.
Somebody will probably remember, but it's from that language. And there's certainly elements of that epic poem, not only in the Old Testament, but also in the Iliad and the Odyssey and the Aeneid and all the epic poems that we all had to study in school. And we're very thankful we didn't have to read in ancient Greek.
Wow. Yeah. I would second that.
So that's what Gilgamesh is.
All right. Gotcha.
Oh, wait, wasn't it from Babylon?
I think you're right. I knew it was one of those Fertile Crescent towns.
Well, speaking of Babylon, I'm going to stop. Ha-cha-cha-cha. So next week, same bat time, and I'm excited for a different time for me to be on back on California time. Looking forward to that. But until next week, definitely keep those masks on. Be safe, be healthy, because we want to see you back. That's for sure. We want to get through this damn thing. So make sure to tune in next week. Great show. It's going to be the last one before a little bit of a 1 week break. So, big long gap if you mix next week's show. That'll be just like forever. So at any rate, so for those of you new to the show, B-Rex, glad you came on. Glad you liked it. I don't know if Tiki's Tavern, if I saw you on earlier. Haven't seen or heard anything from you, so I'm not sure if you're still there and alive. You may be passed out from the alcohol. I'm not sure. And nope, Mesopotamia would be the answer. Okay, from Jill and Miles. There we go. All right. Well, thanks, guys. Thank you for bringing that literary, bringing up the class of the Tiki Trail Live. I appreciate that. And we will see you all next week. Thanks, guys.
Take care.
Aloha.
Thank you, Jeff.
Aloha.
See you guys next time.